short squeeze is mentioned 12 times. That is right, the 10K was just dropped. The 2022 annual report to stockholders was just dropped on AMC's website, and you're going to see everybody posting the link, including myself, putting the link on YouTube. And the words short squeeze in particular were mentioned about 12 times throughout the entire thing. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to get into it. All I ask you guys to do in return, it's free. It's one click of a button. Please hit the like button on the video. Subscribe to the channel, have post notifications on, and without further ado, let's get into it. Come on, man. So the annual report just goes over some numbers, and it's not anything that we really have to spend the entire video covering, but what you can notice from the filing is that AMC's fundamentals are recovering at a fast rate year over year, and that's basically the breakdown of it. Now I want to cover what's happening with the chart because we may actually have a rip very, very soon. Frank's Place posted this on Twitter, and it's also going to correlate over to when I get into the charts. The algos on AMC pre-2021 2.5 years still tracking. You can see right here they grabbed this old cycle that AMC played through before even 2021 hit, and it's tracking to where we are trading at right now, being so that we are nearing very, very close to an all-time low and are about to spring with the most volatility that we have ever sprung with. Now, of course, the market makers love to stunt the algorithms, but is this the time we are actually going to have a rip? We're going to touch on it again a little bit later and what the price can actually hit. Now, hedge funds cut stock leverage at the fastest pace in 2020 crash. According to Goldman Sachs Prime Brokerage, hedge funds cut their net leverage by 4.2% to 50.1% in the week ending September 24th, 2023. This was the biggest week-on-week decline in portfolio leverage since the depths of the pandemic bear market in March 2020, and at the same time, hedge funds increased their short selling, which is a strategy of betting against stocks by borrowing and selling them, hoping to buy back at a lower price. Short selling rose at hedge funds tracked by JP Morgan Chase & Co., while Morgan Stanley's clients cut their net leverage at a pace not seen since last October. The main reason for hedge funds' defensive positioning was the Federal Reserve's announcement that it would start tapering its bond buying program in November of 2023 and raise interest rates sooner than expected in 2024. This signaled a tighter monetary policy that could dampen the economic growth and put pressure on the already high stock valuations. We have touched on a market crash correlating to short squeeze plays, and as of right now, based on what the Fed is doing and what their plan is going forward, hedge funds are cutting at a faster rate since COVID, and that COVID crash was a fast decline in the S&P 500. It's also hard to hedge with that much volatility, especially once the SPY bottoms and springs back up. Could trigger some serious margin calls, but that's not all. The JP Morgan Hedge Equity Fund, with about $16.05 billion in assets, holds a basket of S&P 500 stocks along with options on the benchmark index and resets hedges once a quarter, and it resets today. This was posted yesterday. So this is also expected to add volatility, and we're going to touch on banks a little bit more towards the end of the video because this brings up a very good point. Now, before we get into the charts, we saw another order imbalance on the buy side for AMC of 73,416 shares. Now, we even see higher amounts than this, but this is still a substantial amount of shares purchasing blocks of 73, right? Blocks of 1,000, and the orders are very, very imbalanced, meaning there are not enough sellers to match those buyers. Now, touching on AMC's chart real quick, up 2.82%, trading at 801, the infamous 801. If you've been here that long, drop a comment down below, 801. But I wanted to talk about if AMC is actually going to squeeze, what it could look like. This was just copy and pasted, dragged out a little bit, and I think AMC, once we rip, comes up to around $670, $675, comes back down, bases on the current on-balance volume if they want to press it back into the floor. The on-balance volume doesn't lie, trading right around 257. That's the real price of AMC as of right now, and we are just getting it for a discount, and also it could be trading at different prices on other exchanges, which I'm looking into right now. Can't mention too much on that, but the on-balance volume doesn't lie, and that's something that we're going to get into with Blackberry and GameStop in a second, and some additional important stuff with GameStop as well. We'd first be watching 178 for the first initial rip before we get up there, but depending on if we market crash and margin calls hit, we could just get up to higher prices, higher than 670 if those margin calls end up hitting. Touching on some Ortex numbers real quick, 11.18% short interest, utilization at 59%, and the cost per average at 1%, and the max at 15%. Now, Blackberry, they just had their earnings, I believe. They're down 2.32%, and the on-balance volume again doesn't lie. The stock is trading more so around $11.75, and it is about to finish the cycle before it hits a point of interest. Usually when that happens and a cycle restarts, you see a nice pop in the chart. So either one of these cycles could play out that I have drawn out here, but I just want to put this on your radar as it does correlate to GameStop and AMC and is very, very manipulated as well. Now, speaking of on-bounce volume, pushing the price down, and manipulation, GameStop's short volume was up a staggering 652% on yesterday's trading after Ryan Cohen was elected as the CEO. So we saw a 10% climb in pre-market and then finish down 1.8%. This is exactly how it's possible. Clear, blatant manipulation. And speaking of that, we can't cover it too much, but Ryan Cohen's comment regarding Bed Bath & Beyond, regarding him becoming the CEO, his point here is basically to make GameStop survive as a company. GameStop, what did we talk about yesterday? We said this was a fake out, breaking perfectly above, basing on this wedge, and it's going to break back below. And what happened? It broke back below, and now we are still in this bearish case scenario, especially with what's going to happen with the market, and we're going to talk about it right now. But before we do that, guys, if you want up to 16 free stocks, use my link, download Moomoo, sign up and make a deposit. Each of these stocks you can get valued up to $2,000, so you're getting a chance at 32 grand plus a guaranteed Tesla or Google stock and $50 sent to your account. All you have to do, sign up, make a deposit of even $1, and the more you deposit, the more benefits you get from there. Also, guys, pop in the Discord. The link is right under the video. I'm almost done working on a cool integration, and once that happens, I'm going to up the price, not by a crazy amount, but you might as well get in while it's $1.99. We have options trading alerts in there. I post my trades as soon as I take them. We talk stocks all day long with the most amazing people, and we take a little bit of degen bets here and there, so get in the Discord. That is the place to be. Now, August PCE inflation, the Fed's preferred inflation metric, rises to 3.5%, which is right in line with expectations. Now, core PCE inflation fell to 3.9%, also in line with expectations. Headline inflation is rising, but core inflation is finally falling. What does the Fed do now? The Bank of Japan has announced emergency bond operation, proposing to purchase 300 billion yen, $2.01 billion worth of bonds with maturities of 5 to 10 years. And remember, the people of Japan have been stockpiling gold as well. A US bank is now preventing families from accessing money. This is about the third or fourth time we heard about this. Green Dot Bank customers are speaking out against the bank in their scandal. People can't even buy groceries. If you have Green Dot, let me know in the comments down below and why you have that. A couple more things before we get into the SPY. The SEC just charged an Goldman Sachs employee with insider trading. He told his friends about more than half a dozen not public deals, and he even gave them his own money to illegally trade it for him. He used Xbox 360 chats to pass on the insider information. And U.S. Congressman Warren Davidson, who is advocating for the removal of Chairman Gary Gensler, voted against the Short Sale Transparency and Market Fairness Act. He also supports the retention of other commissioners. Something to consider is Hester Maria Pierce's track record of voting against similar rules that could benefit retail investors, and we believe Warren is a very shady congressman, and we are calling for an investigation into potential bribery into this matter. Now, I know we don't per se love Gary Gensler, but this is something to note, and I posted a YouTube short on it yesterday, so if you didn't see that, why don't you have post notifications on? Make sure to go watch that. Finally, to close out the video, let's touch on the SPY, trading at 428.79, up 0.06% on the day, came up to this level, like we said, right around 431.30, got rejected, trading back down. Most of the market is tracking exactly to this. I think the only stock I saw that was trading a little bit differently or fighting the trend was probably Peloton, PTON, and Tesla. And of course, it wasn't fighting the trend too hard, but it just looked like it was trying to. Overall, watch a retest for the SPY at this level right around 422.80. If we retest that, break below, it's going to get ugly for the SPY, and we have levels from there, and we'll probably talk about the levels first in Discord because it's easier to just drop a message in there before dropping a full video here on YouTube. However, if the SPY retests this, gets a break over about 433, watch a gap fill up to 438.65, right around that level. Overall, guys, that is what I got for you for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed watching or found value out of the video. Make sure to hit the like button on your way out. Get us to 1,000 likes. Join the Discord. Get your free stocks before September is over. I love you all. Lottery Stocks out.